money is something that will govern your life for now for the next 50 years. You have to be very careful about how money is, what you do with money, and how it affects your mentality. Money will affect where you live, who you date, what countries you visit, how your mom does. It affects all of this. It doesn't rule you, but it does affect the way you move through life. So it's very important to have good money habits. Now, I want to do some housekeeping. We're here to give you advice, but I always say this every time I speak. Never implement advice from anyone. This is from a person here giving you advice. Never implement advice from anyone. Take the advice in, internalize it, apply it to your own personal life. No one knows if you have a sick mom, if you want to leave the BVI in 3 years, if your family already has something to leave back to you and you're looking forward to running it. No one knows exactly what you're going through. We can give you advice overall as to what to do, but you have to apply it to your individual life. That's number one. Number two, so let's get into money. I want to give y'all some concepts today. I may only reach about 10% of you with the concepts, but when I was in school and when I was in college, people used to come and talk, and maybe 10 years later, it clicks in my head like, oh yeah, that's what that person was saying, right? Money flows in and out of people based on their habits and what they do and the decisions they make daily. What I realize as well is the advice that you're getting, whether on TikTok, YouTube, every thumbnail is how to make money, what's gonna make money, 10K a day, passive income, something. The key now is to understand the concept and how money flows. So I have 3 different cycles of money. When you're making money, there is make it, grow it, keep it. Let's say this again. Make it, grow it, keep it. Everyone can say it. Make it, grow it, keep it. All right. So when you start to make money, whether this is a salary or you open a business or whatever the case may be, you get a lot of advice. Everyone wants to know how to make money, how to make money. 10K a day, I want to be a millionaire. Cool. The issue now with advice, and we see this with a lot of scammers online and whatever, 10K a day, I made 10K a day, this is how to do it. The issue with this now is that people don't give you the revenue formula. So I'll go through this before I go into make it, grow it, keep it. I'll go into the revenue formula. You have revenue, which is the income you make. You have something called OPEX, which is your operational expense. This is how much it costs for you to live as a human being. And then you have your profit. Most people think about the top line revenue. This is what I made. I have a job that makes 5,000. This person have a job that makes 10,000. This business making $1 million, whatever the case may be. But no one ever tells you how much it costs to make that money. It's easy to make 10,000. If I give you 20,000 and I say make 10,000 today, and you go to her and say, if I give you 20, I'll give you back 10. Now you've made 10,000, but you're in a loss for 10. But now you could take that 10,000 you made, like some of these people online, go to 1,000 other people and tell them, I'll sell you how to make $10,000 a day for $1,000. So if he does that with 100 people, he made $100,000 showing you how to make 10,000 a day. But if you ever apply what he did, you will never make the profit that you need. You will always be in loss. So when you look at the information online and what is happening, you need to be very careful about asking follow-up questions. How did you make this money? How long does it take to make this money? How can I repeat making this money over time? Or is just a one-off that we did that something happened? So that's revenue and your OPEX, as I said, operational expense, how much it takes for you to live as a human. This is where you get into hearing people walking paycheck to paycheck. Now, say that you came out of school, you're going to get a job. Michael Thomas is going to hire you for $10,000 a month. And then you have a friend, Mr. Vanderpool is hiring them. Mr. Vanderpool is hiring them for $5,000 a month. Now, when all of you get together, it would make sense to think that the person making 10,000 a month is richer than the person making 5. This is just how we grow up. The bigger numbers worth more. But no one ever asks the question, what does it cost for me to live? Now, the person making 10,000 from CTL may have a fancy house, a fancy car, they're taking girls out to eat every night, they're doing something else with money. By the time it's done, they have $1,000 left back. Now, this guy in a Mr. Vanderpool hire, 5,000. He working from home, lives with his mom, don't have a lavish lifestyle. Maybe by the time he ends, he has $3,000 left back. Now, when you see these two figures moving over time, the $10,000 guy have 1,000 left back. The $5,000 guy have 3,000 left back. In a short matter of 10 months, before the year even over, the $5,000 guy have $30,000. And the 10,000 a month guy have $10,000. And you're asking yourself, how do you make 10,000 a month but you only have 10,000 in the bank? Makes no sense. But it's the operational cost that the person have a month. And I know I said taking people out and cars and house and this stuff, but sometimes your operational cost is not that what's called negligent, right? It's not that you're not doing the right thing with the money. Maybe you have a sick mom. Maybe you have 2 kids. Maybe you saving, you had some expense that you had before now that you had to pay off. It may not be your fault, but you have to find a way to control operational expense. This is how you get profit, right? After you get profit, you could decide what to do with that money, spend it on whatever you want. But the key is to keep your living expenses as low as possible until make you be able to put down a deposit on a home or go to different vacations or whatever you want to do, because now that's your disposable income. Now, the most important thing to control is OPEX, because this is what gets you to profit. But your mind need to be on profit. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. Very important. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. There are numerous times in business people come to us for consultancy. One guy making $1 million, one guy making 500,000 a month. A year. Cool. By the time you go through everything, the guy that making $1 million making 10% a year on his money, $100,000. Fantastic. The guy making 500,000, you would think would be less off than this other guy. He's now pulling off 350,000 a year because it's just him or a few workers, and they managed to generate this amount of money. The guy doing $1 million, he have 100 trucks, 100 drivers, 100 people in the office, the current bill, the fridge running, Michael Thomas in the back making tea and not bringing none for the rest of us. Yeah, I see that. So the key is to don't let people fool you with what they make. Try to figure out what to keep. And they may not give you these figures, but when you start to go into your life and you understand salary and maybe you start a business or whatever the case may be, focus on what can you keep, not how much can I make. Very important. Now, that's revenue, OPEX, profit. So we're going back to make, grow, keep. All right, make, grow, keep. Now, most of y'all in this room going to be on the make side. At this moment, you're trying to figure out how to make money, how to make money. What should I do? How to make money, how to make money. The key in this level is to taste and try a bunch of things. There's something I do in my own personal life. I want to fail and scale. 2 things immediately. The minute I come up with an idea, I try to figure out how to make it fail. I try to stress test it as quickly as possible. Once I figure out that it can't fail, I say, okay, can it scale? Can it go beyond me? So for example, say you want to eat healthy, right? You're out of school, you're working or whatever, you want to eat healthy. So you decide you're not buying a fridge in your apartment for some reason because you're going to cook every time because you want to eat healthy. Now, every day, you come, you cook breakfast, lunchtime, you go home, you cook. In the afternoon, you come home and you cook and you eat. Now, it's a good idea and it did not fail. Now, put it against the scale test. What is the likelihood that every day for the rest of your life, you're going to be able to spend 12 hours a day cooking? Terrible idea. You'll end up in a meeting at work, can't go home to cook, and then you end up hungry. This is a Panchi and a Skittles waiting to happen. So when you do these things now, you have to now put it to the test. Can this scale beyond me? Is the idea good enough to move forward and be repeatable over time? Very important. This is what gets you that lower OPEX, which gets you more profit. Yes. You could apply this to business, anything in your life, salary, anywhere you go. Now, let's go to grow it. I want to speak about advice and grow it. Now, in the make it stage, you test a lot of things. In the growing stage, the things that you have already tested, now you try to fold them on top of each other. You try to get them done quicker and quicker every week, every month, every year. You try to double up. Now, the thing is with advice, you go online, you go on TikTok, even when we are at conferences or anyone is speaking, you have to kind of squint your eye and go, what is this advice? Is it a make it, a grow it, or a keep it? Because the last thing you want to do, and you will fail, if someone gives you grow it advice and you apply it to your make it years, fail. 100%. I know each one of y'all, you're young, but I know you have a uncle or a brother or somebody they do something for a year, they stop. They do something for another 2 years, they stop. Every time you meet them, they're doing something different. It's because they are applying the wrong advice and it can't scale. They're doing it in the make it era. Now, say for grow it, some of you in here, maybe you have a situation where your siblings are old or your father left you a laundry, some apartment buildings and a car rental. Now you coming out of school, you're very eager to run this business. So the last thing you want to hear from us is make it advice. You already have something that you now want to grow. You ain't get to keep it yet, but you do want to keep it. All right? So when you want to grow this now, you need to be very careful. When you go on YouTube, when you go on TikTok, when you come to people for advice, ask them, hey, I want to grow this thing. They will then start to ask you different questions. You will see the conversation completely change to what it was. They would see your age and they would immediately start to give you make it advice. Oh, you need to do this, go learn this, blah, 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 blah. But if you're already in charge or you already have assisting or whatever the case may be, now you need grow it advice, which is completely different advice. Now, keep it. Keep it is a more defensive position. Now, when I was your age, I would ask myself things like, I have this great idea and I think it would make all this money. Why Mr. Thomas ain't doing it? He full of money and he got an opportunity. Why Mr. Vanderpool ain't doing it? And it took years to dawn on me that they're already busy. They're already doing something. They're already in the grow it or keep it stage. They don't want to take the eye off of the thing they're growing to go back into the make it stage to hope that it works. Which is why I want all y'all to have this abundant mindset in your head. All ideas can be done, whether someone in the field already or you think someone will come in after you. Try to bulletproof your idea. Now, for the keep it, in the make it and grow it, you have a lot of risk tolerance. You're willing to do things. You're willing to try things. You're willing to fail. After you already got your businesses to a certain level or you already have a salary of $500,000 because you're working somewhere for a lot of years and you have equity in the company or whatever the case may be, you don't want to risk it. You don't want to put your money into some new crypto thing or some new apartment or whatever idea some young person come up with. They want to build a bowling alley and a skating ring at the same time, and they want you to invest in this idea. So when you get to the keep it stage, you're trying to make sure that you don't lose any of this years and money that you put in over time. So sometimes when you're online and you see these things about get this insurance thing or S&P 500 or something, all of that is keep it advice. If you apply that to the grow, you will fail. Very important. The advice is not wrong and it's not incorrect. It's just incomplete because it's not for the stage that you at the moment. So now we have revenue, OPEX, profit, very important. We have grow. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to tell me I'm wrong. Make it first. So you need to make it, then grow it, then keep it. Now, because of your age, I would be remiss to not speak about the future of money. Now, the future of money is crypto, blockchain, stable coins, all these different things. Had to be about 7, 8 years ago. I was sitting on a paper park having a drink with a friend, and I said, hey, what if someone was to give you $10 million to get $1 million to the UK in 24 hours? How would you do it? And we sat there for, could be 20 minutes trying to figure out different ideas of how to get the money there. ACH, you're going to send a wire, whatever electronic methods we have now. You know what we came up with? Convince the bank to withdraw $1 million, rent a private jet, put the million on the jet, convince customs here to let you leave with the money, then convince customs there to let you in with the money. That's the only way you could get that large amount of money to a different country in 24 hours or even 48. I was shocked. Then we pull out crypto and send $5,000 right there before the girl finished mixing the drink. And that was it for me, right? From then I invested in digital assets, stable coins, not these, right, it's like Dogecoin and all these other things that you're going to lose your money with faster than anything else, right? Very good investments. Things that when it's $10, it's $10. Regardless of whether the market goes up or down, it worth $10. So the key about the future of money is at the moment, we don't have access to it here in the way that we should. We're working on it. But because it will be a big part of your lives, try to play with it, test it, go online, open a digital wallet. It's free, takes about 5 minutes. Just try to see if you understand how the technology works. So by the time you need it, you will be ahead of the curve. All right? And in conclusion, the psychology of money. All of us grew up not speaking about money. Your parents don't speak about money. They don't allow you to learn about money. Everybody hides how much they make. Everybody hides how much they keep. Everybody is very cagey about money. I need y'all to understand. Try to get a group of friends that every week when y'all go out, say you're going out to drink. I see some people putting on a whole work day of drinking now from 6 to 3 a.m. At least use 2 of them hours to sit and speak about money. How we making money, how other people to make money. That look profitable. What about this thumbnail I see on YouTube? Why? At least spend 15 minutes if you can. Just the concept. Each one of you learning about something else daily. So when you get together and you start to speak about these things, even if it's in a group chat, you speak about these things, your mind starts to click. How can money flow my way? How can I make it? How can I grow it? How can I keep it? My name is Sinclair Fleming. Thank you all.